Now, U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Inauguration Day that his policies will make America great again. Speaking from inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, Trump said the golden age of America begins right now. From then to the Liberation Day, when he unleashed new levies on countries across the globe, resulting in a market meltdown. It shows a path of extreme uncertainty. Now, during the campaign trail last year and on his first day in office on the 20th of January, Trump claimed the U.S. was in the driver's seat. Back then, he used reports as proof to the concessions the U.S. had received even before he took office. The president did get many concessions from trading partners whom he threatened with severe import levies. Beyond regular trade taxes, Trump spoke about reciprocal tariffs as a response to barriers put on U.S. goods and exports. Trump and the White House administration have repeatedly spoken about the unfair trade practices from partners causing huge imbalances with the U.S. The president, arguing for his plan to enact tariffs, said instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. But most economists disagree that tariffs will enrich Americans, and real-world examples of tariffs working that way are rare. Consumers in the tariff-levying country often suffer in these deals because prices rise. Analysts claim that tariffs artificially raise the cost of doing business, which depresses overall economic production in the form of lower GDP, artificially higher prices, and fewer goods sold. For the consumer, this means a reduction in purchasing power. Trump late on Wednesday also announced sweeping reciprocal tariffs on Wednesday, including a 10% flat tax on all U.S. imports. Trump slapped in additional duties on around 60 nations, ranging between 15% and 49%. Nations with the largest trade imbalances with the U.S. face higher rates, even as Trump said that he'd sweeten the deal by only imposing about half of what other countries charge. The tariffs provoked world condemnation and fears of recession and stagflation, which is rising inflation and slowing growth. Those recession bets fueled a market meltdown in which over $2.5 trillion were wiped from the Wall Street stock value. Asian stocks showed deep losses as investors braced for further pain across global markets. The steepest levies in a century sparked a rapid sell-off in risk assets, culminating the obliteration day with a 4.8% rout in the S&P 500, its biggest drop since June 2020. The U.S. stock market is down almost 10% since Trump took office. This marks the worst 10-week start under a new president in 24 years. The last one was under then-President George W. Bush during the dot-com sell-off. The S&P 500 index is virtually in a correction over the 52 trading sessions since Inauguration Day. The Nasdaq 100 shed 5.4% to mark its worst day since September 2022. And that rout was driven by billions in value loss from the biggest U.S. stocks. Apple's 9% loss led to a market value loss of $314 billion. And Nvidia's loss was $209 billion. Amazon's was $187 billion and Meta's value fell by $133 billion.
Are you negotiating with partners currently?
What we have is a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in and every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat. If we would have asked some of these countries, most of these countries, to do us a favor, they would have said no. Now they'll do anything for us. But we have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
Trump also seems to be unperturbed about the deep market plunge. He said the market response was expected.
First, we'd love to get your reaction, sir, to what's going on in the financial markets today.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know, with a lot of problems, including loss of manufacturing and plants closed up all over the country. You know, we've lost 90,000 plants since NAFTA, if you think of that. 90,000. It's not even believable. And about 6 million jobs. And so it was a sick patient that went through an operation on Liberation Day. and it's going to be a booming country, a very booming country. It's going to be amazing, actually. And we see it because we have trillions of dollars committed to come in, trillions.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.